Both these teams looking to get out of the basement in the A division, and they're going to really have to turn things around. It's the Lock Monsters against the Big Hawks. Welcome to the Rshl. Danny Wilson here. Well, two teams that have been good in the previous season has really turned things pretty much for the worse. Lock Monsters coming in at 1-3. Big Hawks has not won a single game so far this season, and it's been some defensive struggles for both these teams. So what is it going to take to turn things around? Let's go straight away into the breakdown. We're going to go for Tim Caruso. Doesn't lead in any of the columns. It's been pretty spread out, but he is the one that has the only game-winning goal accredited to the team. So we'll see if he can step up. And as I've said, the defense for this team has been lackluster. We'll have to see if they can fix that up. For the Big Hawks, it's going to be down to Michael Mugnon, who is filling in for the Big Hawks. And he's had previous experience with the Ice Holes, but this is an entire league of its own. Does he have enough experience to step up? Well, we're going to get ready for the ball drop, and it is next. They're getting set for this game. Both of these teams looking to turn things around. This has not been a good season for either of them, but we'll see how they step up. As I've said, the stats for the Lock Monsters have been pretty spread out. No one has really stood out among the team this season, as they're going to go straight on the attack, but immediately give up to Steve Nadeau. Looking to stretch up to Chris Young, gives it away, back to the Lock Monsters, off the boards. Looking to attack, he can't get through. Launch for the Big Hawks, backhands it. Going for Nadeau, he'll dump it into the corner. And looking to get out of there is Mitch Stevens. Does find a man, and Edgecombe had to quickly get back on side. He lost track of where the ball was. So head back behind the net, behind Mugnon. Pops out on the side of the net and couldn't get a clean shot. They stick behind the net and will play around as the Big Hawks will reset. And turns it over. Centers. Shot saved by Mugnon. A big turnover. And here they come. The Lock Monsters pouncing on top of that mistake. But Mugnon has just bailed him out. Middle. From the right corner, centers. Centers one more time, that's blocked. Back in the right circle. Waiting, off the boards. Looking for a center pass, can't find one. They're gonna try to carry out a 2-on-2. They're trying to focus on getting back across the line, and Young sends it across the Corrigan. He has a chance here, shot! And save, he doesn't know where it is! It comes with backhand, it goes wide! He lost sight of it. It was right under his pad. And here they come. It is Caruso. Centers from Meister. He gets double teamed. Back in the corner for Andrew Javor. Centers. Shot just a little wide from Kevin Frost. And Frost, after all this time out with an injury, comes back for the team. So we'll see how Frost is doing coming back from his injury. Try to center, intercepted, back the other way. 3-on-2, might turn into a breakaway if they can hurry back. 2-on-0, Lons, center, score! Big Hawks it on the board between Chris Lons and the goal scorer Steve Nadeau. NATO gets his third of the season. As Caruso trying to dodge around, trying to fire back, and that goes off his stick into the corner. Meister taking a look, sends back to the point, and back it goes into the corner for Meister. Pops out near the slot, driven away from danger, trying to get up to Corrigan. Caruso finds Kevin Frost along the left boards, taking a poke check from Lons, will send upwards. Oh, switch places, but lost control in the process. Good poke check, Caruso. There's a shot from the boards that goes wide. Sets up again, shot, and that one might have got stopped by Mugnon. They clear. As Caruso tries to get away from Corrigan, he does, and now he's going to go for another quick attack, and that shot goes wide into the corner. Everybody slamming it into the corner. Here's Meister. Center shot just a little wide. Just coming from Andrew Shabor. And Frost and Corrigan, he lost sight of it. It's under their feet somewhere, and now it goes out to Chris Young for the Big Hawks. He'll dump it out. Lee Rayners races into the corner. 3 blue jerseys giving chase. Back to Brian Hooks. Tries to center. Can he find him? Yes, he can. Centers again. Waits, tries a one-timer, but the one-timer got interrupted. It was an attempted shot by Lee Rayners as they head to the boards, and everybody hacking and whacking there. Tries a shot, and it comes loose as Edgecombe goes on the attack 3-on-2. Edgecombe centers, gets interrupted. Lee Rayners back the other way. He'll just dump out. As the Big Hawks will complete their change. Off the boards, finds a man. Centers a crossover to Ebner. Attempted shot goes into the corner. Edgecombe again. Goes back behind the net. Coming loose into the corner. Everybody racing in. The Big Hawks have position on a 3-on-1. Chris Young races it. Can't control it. At the back check. Trying to get hard at work, and now a 2-on-2 the other way. Will cross to Edgecombe. Looks for Ebner. Does. Gets a return back to Edgecombe. Outside the circle. Carry towards the slot. Shot, and a blocker save by Mugnon. Pops up in the air, and it goes into the opposite circle. As Chris Lons for the Big Hawks. Here's a shot and a save.
My money. Yeah.
I think that's Logan. Oh? Yeah, I think that's Logan, but this is right. Yeah, I know he is. Ask him, but I think that's who that is.
And the Big Hawks win the face-off. Caruso trying to get it out of the zone, but it's going to go back to Kevin Frost. And wow, everybody's just crashing to me, but this is going to... Where are they going to put this one? That's going to stay inside the Lock Monster zone. And a quick shot, and didn't get all of that one from Tim Corrigan. Frost up to Caruso. We'll find Andrew Shabor. Back to Caruso. He can't get a hang for it. Here's Corrigan. Cross it to Young. One time. Back to Corrigan, but it goes back to the corner. Kevin Frost and Corrigan again up the boards, up to Caruso. Stick lift. Does enter the zone. They'll take a look at NATO and Hooks. Hooks going on the attack into the corner. Everybody getting pinned up. Dodges around. Shot is blocked. And everybody starting to get physical. Shot and a save by Mugnon. Back to Caruso, shot, and that goes wide. And where is it? The whistle is blown as everybody's just topsy-turvy in the crease. Won by the Lock Monsters to Kevin Frost. Wrist shot saved by Mugnon and quickly covers. Won by the Big Hawks. Tries to feed up the boards, unable. They backtrack. Ebner tries to go back on the forecheck. Gets control, tries to center. Intended that. Oh, bouncing around and just misses outside, and everybody goes back. Kevin Frost tracks it down.
All day, Kevin, all day.
And he had some help from Joey Murphy trying to give him an option as Kevin Frost gets a return and resets. All at the boards, and they just dump down. Mugnon will drop it off for Brian Hooks. Couldn't connect. Edgecombe tries to go on the forward check, unable. And now they'll race it down. It is Young and Murphy. Murphy will win the race. He slips. There's going to be no call for that. Young, here's a call, tries to cross it. Hit a foot, backhand, and covered up. Won by the Big Hawks. Chris Young getting a shove from Edgecombe. Tries to look for NATO, does. Crosses, gets a return at the point. Escapes from one defender. Shot is blocked. And now a 2-on-1 the other way. Drop pass. Shot! Oh! They say it's a goal! Mugnon had it, but it somehow squeaked through the blocker. And the Lock Monsters have tied it up at 1. It looked like Mugnon had the save on his blocker, but just not the correct angle he needed to get it away. Frost tries to pass, intended that one for Andrew Shabor, but misses, and back it goes into their own zone. Frost will take a look with 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Frost looking at Raiders, off the stick of Corrigan. They keep it in. Good forecheck by the Big Hawks. Lons goes left into the circle. Tries to feed it, and it's loose in there and covered up. Won by the Big Hawks. NATO winds up, shot and a save, and covered up again.
Hey, get there. Hey, get there, 2-6.
Won again by the Big Hawks. Back and forth. Corrigan winds up. And low roller didn't get all of that slap shot. And someone was slashed, but it was not caught by any of the officials. You can see that Chris Lons was in pain there. Kevin Frost. Back at the point for the Lock Monsters. Quick slap shot goes wide. And we'll check on Chris Lons momentarily. But here is a 2-0 breakaway for Corrigan. Shot! Oh, is that going to count? The whistle blew. Oh boy, Pal Pelka, the official, has blown the whistle, and he's going to call no goal. Oh, the Big Hawks are going to be furious about this one. Oh, the controversy has arisen, and we'll see how the Big Hawks respond to that one. But here's Brian Hooks in a race with Tim Caruso. We'll see how they respond to that. And they're going to try again, this time a 2-on-1. Corrigan with a shot, safe, and he gets it anyway! Raiders with a goal from Corrigan! Well, the Big Hawks got what they wanted after all that. Well, they didn't get it with a 2-on-0 breakaway, but they did get it with a 2-on-1. Good resilience from the Big Hawks to stay focused on the play. Off the boards, here is Edgecombe. Trying to race it in a little too fast. Mugdon pokes it behind the net. Everybody taking in with less than 30 seconds remaining in the period. And here's a slap shot saved by Mugdon. Young will try to clear out, they do. Off the boards, they do tag up in time. Slap shot from Ebner going wide. And he's just going to leave it for Brian Hooks with 5 seconds left. I don't think they're going to have enough time. Oh, he's going to do one long shot and a save to end the period. So we'll head into the first intermission. We'll give you another look at that one goal that was waved off. And yeah, the Big Hawks did respond in kind. And they will end up going out with a 2-1 lead after one. So the goals from the Big Hawks come from Rayner and NATO. And Big Hawks are now in the position that they felt that they deserved to be in. Going in with a 2-1 lead after that controversial whistle. And tried to deke around, unable, wasn't fooled by that. And out it goes. NATO taking a look. And very low danger here, but here comes one blue jersey. He'll play off the boards over to Brian Hooks, and he'll just send it back. Tries to get a return, does. Ebner moving in on the forecheck, and now he'll send it back around to NATO. And he'll try to feed up. The forecheck works. Shot is blocked. That shot coming from Mitch Stevens. And out it goes as Joey Murphy will take a look as he'll backtrack. Off the boards. Ebner up to Edgecombe. 2-on-2 the other way. Looking for Barbado and can't find him. Here is Chris Young. Poke check. Good play by Mitch Stevens as everybody tags up, and he'll try again. He'll try to go for Ebner, does. Here's a few calls, goes for Barbado. Crosses, intercepted. And they're going to send it down the floor, a race between Young and Stevens. Young wins the race as they are in the middle of a change. And slips. And that was Lee Rayners that slipped, and it develops a 2-on-2 the other way. Caruso with a shot as Hooks trying to knock it down with his stick. Made sure he kept it below the crossbar. Couple of poke checks as the Big Hawks trying to go on an attack. Rayners looking at two blue jerseys, trying to get around Stevens. As they head to the corner, sticks a stick back behind the net as Stevens escapes. There's been some spurts of physical play for both sides. As Jabor in the right corner trying to go around, escapes Hooks. Looks at a few options, looking at Brian Hooks, and Lee Rayners takes a pass, and that's blocked. The second attempt also blocked by Brian Hooks. Tries to go for a stretch pass to Tim Corrigan. Corrigan, and a wide angle, and it hit the post. And everybody digging in near the Big Hawk bench as the Lock Monsters will trot forward. Stretching over to Keith Meister. Is cut off. We'll play off the boards to Lee Rayners. Going for Tim Corrigan at center. Taking a poke tech. Gives a return to Rayners. Slap shot. Score! Lee Rayners gets his second of the game. 3-1. Big Hawks. And those stretch passes are working out very well for the Big Hawks as Rainers, big rocket from the point, and scores number 2 of the game. And that will also give him his 4th of the season. Here's Edgecombe with the other way for the Lock Monsters. Centers, tries to go for Ebner, but a good poke check. Back the other way for the Big Hawks, but it's sent out of play. This one is coming back. Toss up for control, saves for the Lock Monsters, but they got to retreat. 10 minutes remaining in the second period. Big Hawks hold a 3-1 lead. Brian Hook's giving some directions and will send it across as they will prepare for another attack. But Barbato has other ideas as he'll head back behind the nets. Hooks sends it around looking for a friendly face, does find one. Another poke check, tries to send forward. Unable, having a little trouble with the forecheck, and it is stuck on the safety net, and we'll have a face-off. Won by the Lock Monsters. If they can get a shot, goes back to Murphy, crosses to Frost. Shot! Trying to look for a tip as Mugnon dives out and covers.
One by Steve, 2 by Lee. That was 10-4.
And tie up on the draw is going to head back over to the Big Hawks. Looking, and now sends up to Lons. Off the boards. No icing on this play. Try to go over to Frost. It was a little too hard for him to handle. Shot and a save by Dave Story. Off the boards, try to go for Edgecombe, overshot it, NATO sends it back. Chris Young was thinking about a wraparound, and they'll dig in the slot and covered up by Story.
Chris, that Steve scored, didn't he? Steve scored a goal? The first one. Okay. Cavell thought it was 2. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any.
And quick shot score! That's going to Tim Corrigan. Tim Corrigan was denied a goal earlier. Well, he's got one now. 4-1 Big Hawks. And Dave Story not happy about letting that goal through. As we approach the halfway point of the second. Winds up and a long shot that hits the safety net. And that will give easy access for Brian Hooks.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Play off the boards. Intended for Rainers, gave it away. Caruso with a shot saved by Mugnon through traffic. Try to go for a stretch pass, kept in by Kevin Frost. Caruso trying to go for a tip over to Jabor. He misses, and NATO sends around the boards over to Lee Rainers. Up to Tim Corrigan, that's blocked. Frost, up to Caruso, crosses to Jabor. That's poked, and back the other way for Steve NATO. Trying to get it around Keith Meister, holding up, and now will send it over to Brian Hooks. Hooks winds up, shot, curving a bit, rebound, and covered up by Dave Story. And Dave Story wasn't so sure about that, but by natural reaction, heads back to the other side to make that crucial stop. Won by the Big Hawks again. Another shot and another save by Story, and he didn't know that he held on to it. He thought it went to the corner. It was going to be won by the Big Hawks, but stolen away by Keith Meister. And offside against the Lock Monsters. And poke back, kept in by Brian Hooks. Tries to go for Rainers, but he'll head back to the corner. Trying to battle out with Joey Murphy. Murphy tries to take control, goes up to Caruso. Forecheck on to work, and up to Keith Meister for the Lock Monsters. Along with Andrew Jabor, now crosses to Caruso. Caruso with a shot just a little wide with the wrist shot. And Brian Hooks
Yeah, one coming, mate.
waiting, directs traffic, and now will play off the boards to Lee Rainers. He'll play off the boards again. There's going to be no icing here. That will give the Hawks a chance to change. And up to Edgecombe. Looking at Brian Hooks. Trying to drive the net. Centers. Can't find a blue jersey. Back to Joey Murphy. Wrist shot. That's blocked. Close up. Score! Fernando with a goal. And brings it back within 2. There was plenty of traffic in front as Ebner just decided to go with it with a wrist shot. It just beats Mugnon to the far side. That's going to be a crucial step in the right direction for the Lock Monsters as we approach 4 minutes remaining in the second. Kept in by NATO. Trying to poke across. That is Ebner. Does get it across. Edgecombe with control. Edgecombe trying to look for a center pass. That's blocked. Back to the center. Dodges around one. Chris Lons on the attack along with Chris Young. Tries a center feed. Misses. Back over to Edgecombe in the corner. Edgecombe will send it around the boards as Kevin Frost waits in his own zone. Speeds up to Ebner, but bounces around as Nito will send up to Chris Lons at center. Will go left. Centers again for Lons. Goes for Chris Young on the opposite corner, and moving in is Mitch Stevens as a shot is blocked and swatted away. Back at the point to Steve Nato. He'll wind up for a shot and a save by Dave Story. And with Ebner's goal, that will make it number 2 for the season. As I mentioned earlier, the goals have been pretty spread out through the team. Won by the Big Hawks. NATO with a shot and that hit the post. Glove down, tries another shot, try to look for a tip, and that goes into the opposite corner. Will pop up in front of the bench. NATO waiting, tries a shot blocked, and trying to go for a quick attack. It's going to be a race between Jabor and NATO. Jabor wins the race. Jabor tries to feed back, but ends up into a sea of whites. And now a race between Corrigan and Frost. Corrigan with control. Goes to Rainers, but poke checked away by Tim Caruso. Caruso and Jabor. He takes a poke check. Back the other way. Rainers centers. And unable to get a pass going. They can get a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Stevens takes a poke check. Ends up to Caruso. Dodges around. Trying a shot that is blocked. A great chance for the Lock Monsters, but here's a 3-on-2 and a good back check. He tried to draw a penalty. He's not getting it. Kevin Frost back to Keith Meister as we approach 90 seconds left in the second period. Backtracking and sends across to Brian Hooks. And a long shot for Hooks. That goes to the safety net. Frost will retrieve behind the net. Up to Meister. We'll get one last change going, and we'll send back to Frost. Yeah, Jabor, Barbato, and Meister as the forwards, but it's going to be sent back to Kevin Frost. Tries to center again, off the stick, but it gets to Meister. Meister with a shot going wide. Barbado takes control. Back over to Murphy. A lot of traffic at the slot, and that shot just going wide. Rebound score! Anderson Barr puts up an lots of traffic out front, caused a lot of chaos, and will get the Lock Monsters within one. 30 seconds remain. We're going to have an exciting finish here in the second period. Here's Edgecombe trying to look for an option. Centers and point blank says score! The Lock Monsters have come all the way back to tie this up as we go to intermission. Patrick Barbado, point blank, and the Lock Monsters have fought all the way back. And we still got another 14 minutes to go. 4-4 after 2. Everybody is giving us an exciting game here as we get ready for the third period. And just like this season, goals have been pretty spread out among the Lock Monsters. We have Jabor, Barbato. Trying to remember who the other two goal scorers were. I'll figure that out in just a moment, but for now, Barbato the other way, 2-on-2. Looking at NATO. Gets around, it becomes a 2-on-1. Tries to center. Good defensive play to break up the pass. Here's Murphy with a shot. Everybody digging in near the slot. Slap shot saved by Mugnon coming from Ebner. Ebner again with a loose glove. Shot, and that is blocked. Centers again. Shot. That is interrupted. Lock Monsters in full control here. Ebner tries to go in the corner. And they'll try to send it out. Unable. Ebner to Edgecombe. Centers to Murphy. Tries to tap it back. Unable. Here's Chris Lons the other way along with Lee Rainers. Looking at 3 blue jerseys. Here's a call but unable to get a pass going. 2-on-2. Try to pass back to Edgecombe. Unable. NATO winding up for a long shot and a save by Story. And here's Stevens with a shot saved by Mugnon. And look out, here it comes. That was going to be an odd man rush, but good on Stevens to get back into the play. Chris Young centers, tries to tip it in, unable. And Jabor the other way looking at 3 white jerseys. He's going to try to break through all 3 of them. He does. Crosses. Trying to get a rebound. It's still loose ball. Off the boards, and the Lock Monsters really putting the clamps down now. But it's 2 minutes gone in the third period. Take it to Pochek. Murphy will play all the boards. Trying to get it around Young and NATO, and we'll feed it in, and Mugnon will cover. I'll try to feed it back over to Kevin Frost, back at the point. He'll dump it back in, but it will be picked up by Brian Hooks for the Big Hawks. Rainers will just backhand it out, no icing on this play. Story will just feed up to Kevin Frost. And finds Jabor. Caruso trying to look for a tip from Meister, unable to get a tip in. NATO and Meister along the boards. Will be taken away by Lee Rainers. He's just going to dump it across as Young is on the approach, but Story will play around the boards over to Kevin Frost. Frost will assess the situation. we have ourselves a pretty good game, 4 apiece, as we're 3:30 into the third period. Cross, and will be sent back in. Meister centers to Javor. Javor taking his poke check, breaks through again, shot! Good save by Mugnon! And tries again. Open chance. What a save by Michael Mugnon! What a save! 4 minutes gone. And Mugnon might have just kept the Hawks in this. As they will dump out and get a change, and I don't blame them.
All three, let's go. Tag on here.
Lock Monsters really putting pressure on the Hawks, but oh, here's a 4-on-1. Look out here, it comes loose. Barbado shot at it is wide. Tries to feed it center, and it is intercepted. How often do you see that 4-on-1? Nato off to Young. Tries to dodge around, unable. And the Lock Monsters have to tag up. Barbado once again lines up with a shot and just caught the glove of Mugnon. Here's Young. Will feed up to Tim Corrigan. 2-on-1. Shot save. Rebound. Oh, he can't get it off. Back to Barbado. It's been a frantic third period so far. Goes through center. Lons left to Lee Rainers. Looking at Kevin Frost. From the corner. Centers. Finds a man. Shot save by Dave Story. This has been a very frantic third period. Both these teams really want to get the next goal now. Back it goes outside the circle and a 2-on-2 for Edgecombe and Barbado. Gets around Nato, develops to a 2-on-1. And unable to hold on to keep it alive, and will be sent back across over to Ebner on the opposite corner. Looking at Chris Lons, tries a wide angle, it's loose and covered up by Mugnon.
One more.
Toss up will go to the Big Hawks off the boards, and they are going to call an icing.
Yeah. Somebody stay right on top of their goalie and make one of those deep. Yeah, we don't need to get a and then we're playing. They're not this side.
Won by the Lock Monster. Shot from Frost, and that one just got tipped away by Mugnon. Attempted clear. They do. As Story has to, he's going to try to go for it here. It plays off the board. He's got to get back quickly, but gets some assistance from Kevin Frost. A very aggressive play by Dave Story.
Play in center, Tim.
Center shot just going wide. Javor back to Frost, but moving in and getting interrupted. Here comes Tim Corrigan the other way. He's going to try to throw in the Jets here, looking at Joey Murphy to the left corner. Trying to look for some help, trying to buy some time. Shot going wide. As Caruso will take control. Looking at 2 white jerseys. Lons joining in on the play on defense. Tries to center and clear it out, and it will stay inside the Big Hawk zone. Won by the Big Hawks. Cross, a wind-up shot, pass save by Mugnon. Everybody digging in. Lock Monsters retain control. Caruso deking around 1, trying to go for 2, unable. Good keep in by Joey Murphy along the boards. We'll drop it to Jabor. Jabor's shot score! Andrew Jabor does it again and has put the Lockbusters ahead 5-4. So that goal will give Jabor number 4 of the season and his second of the game. Stevens winds up, shot going way high into the safety net. As the Big Hawks tries to reset. Tim Corrigan, they'll try to wind up, unable to get it off. They tag up in a 3-on-1 the other way. Here's Stevens, centers, unable to get to Barbado, but it goes back over to Ebner. Tries to feed in, unable, and now develops into a 3-on-1 the other way. The Rainers tries to go for Corrigan, but he can't get there. Centers again, nobody available. Back it goes to Edgecombe, sneaks around, and a 2-on-1 the other way. Centers, unable. Centers, oh, just wide from Barbado. Frost waits, goes close. Still a loose ball. They attempt to clear it. It goes over to Chris Young. Young trying to throw the Jets on, but a poke check from Mitch Stevens. And another poke check, but kept in by the Big Hawks. Waiting and blocked by Kevin Frost. Play off the boards, going for Edgecombe. He has to get around Nato. He does. Up against 3 defenders. That's Chris Young in the white. Here's a shot from Kevin Frost going wide and covered up by Bugnon. And we have a timeout for the Big Hawks with 3:25 remaining. An energetic third period for both sides. So there's been a flurry of odd man rushes for both sides. 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s. With 3:25 remaining, we'll see what the Big Hawks have in mind.
Just let me walk right in. I like the idea.
So we got 2 different players that have 2 goals. Javor has 2 for the game. Rainers has 2 for the game. And this last 3.5 minutes is going to be crucial. As a reminder, the Lock Monsters come in with only 1 win under their belt for the season. The Big Hawks still looking for their first. And while we got the time, we have a tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. We will be in Tampa, Florida for a tournament. We'll have our road team, the Thunder, going down, and we'll be trying their hand down there. And I will be there to cover all that. And that will be in 2 weeks. Won by the Lock Monsters. Frost racing it down. Tries to quickly get it back in. Centers, knocked away. Shavor. Looking at a white jersey now. Feeds back to Frost. Shot, tries to go for a tip. Unable to get it from Meister. Murphy off the boards. Caruso from the circle. Tries to center. That's blocked. We will keep an eye on Mugnon. 3-on-2. Centers to Rainers. He has 2 for the game. Shot! Score! Rainers has a hat trick. And we are tied up at 5. So Rainers has 3, but because of this is the A division shot. Oh, that one just a little wide on the far side. Lons with a shot, and that's a save from Dave Story. But because of this is the A division, he can keep on scoring. They head to the boards. Lons Trying to go for a close-up chance. It is stuck on the outside of the net, and oh boy, and Lons is about to lose it. With 2:16 remaining, he must have thought that there should have been a penalty, but he's not going to get one here. Won by the Long Monsters. Joey Murphy. Let's go for a stretch pass, kept in by Nato. And bouncing around, goes to the left corner as we approach 2 minutes remaining. And a good clear. Kept in by the Big Hawks. Back to left corner, centers, shot! And where is it? It is under somewhere and covered up by Story with 1:58 left. Toss up will go to the Lock Monsters, and it's going to be a 2-on-2. Edgecombe waits up, tries a center shot, score! Gives the lead back with 1:46 remaining. Left. We will keep an eye on Michael Mugnon. He's still in the net for now. Backhanded up, and look out, here comes a 2-on-1 if Edgecombe can get there. Edgecombe trying to look for some help, tries to center. They head back to the corner. Will be picked up by Nato. Less than 90 remaining, and I would expect that Mugnon's going to be going out. And here comes Corrigan. He has one for the game. Shot saved by Dave Storian. Almost got me.
You didn't let go to
Sorry, it's not.
So the clock is at 1:15. And we have a timeout for the Lock Monsters. And Mugnon is on the bench. We have an extra attacker on for the Big Hawks. They have Young, Lons, Rainers, Hooks, Corrigan, and Nato on the floor. Now, each of them have been proven to be reliable scorers. And when you're dealing with the Big Hawks, you can expect a heavy attack from them. They have some of the hardest shots in the league. And Lee Rainers, with his hat trick, brings him to 5 goals.
I got one.
And Chris Lons is still having a chat with Palpelka about a previous call.
Get there.
And tie up goes to the Big Hawks. Turnaround shot! Where is it? It's going to be gloved down. Chris Young tries a shot. Tries to find Corrigan. Does. It's in there. Score! The Big Hawks are tying it again with 1:01 remaining. They're giving this one to Brian Hooks. And that will be his first of the season. 6-6 with 1 minute remaining. What else can we expect? Glove down by Story off the boards. Poked around, and Stevens is going to go for it here. Shot just wide. Back to Jabor.
Only one.
Glove down. Oh, that would have turned into a breakaway. Oh, and it's going to be back in the corner.
Go on a man.
That almost turned to a breakaway for the Big Hawks, and they turn it over. Here's Caruso the other way, along with Keith Meister. Pocek, but it'll go back to Jabor. Shot just wide. Off the boards from Brian Hooks. kept in by Joey Murphy. Shot from Meister is blocked. They gotta try to get it out of there. Shot it is blocked again. One more time for Meister. He gets poke check and out it goes with 10 seconds left. And an icing against the Big Hawks with 7 seconds left.
Come on, boys. Quick shot, boys.
And look out, breakaway! Here is Chris Lantz! He has a chance to win the game here! Shot! Saved by Dave Story! Dave Story has just kept the Lock Monsters in, and we are going to overtime! Chris Lantz had a golden opportunity, but a great save by Story. We'll push this to extra time. And trying to dig around is Barbado. He'll poke it back. Gets a return from Edgecombe. Barbado again. He'll send it back over to Kevin Frost at the point. Slap shot going wide. Back behind the nets. Ebner will take control for the Lock Monsters. Here's a call. Deciding on what to do. And now sends back to Murphy. Shot! Where is it? It is covered up by Mugnon.
Mugnon. Just like that spelling.
Centers, but it goes off a white jersey and cleared out. And is this going to make it for icing? Well, it's not going to matter now. Story has touched it, so they'll wave off any potential icing. Edgecombe from the left, going along with Ebner and Barbado. He's going to try to drive it. Up close. Barbado again, taking a look. Now sends back to Mitch Stevens. Stevens a shot that's blocked. Back to the right corner. Here is Edgecombe. Edgecombe thinking about it. Now feeds back to Barbado. Shot is blocked. Edgecombe again. Centers. Oh, try to get a tip from Ebner. Unable. Ebner going down. No call here. Shot up in the air. Where is it? Mugnon looking for it. Oh, Pelka is taking a look. Where is it? I don't see a goal call. He's taking a look. I don't know. I'm still waiting for a call, and it does not look like it went in. We continue on. Won by the Bayhawks, sent around the boards. Tim Caruso gave it away to Tim Corrigan. Corrigan tries center, off the stick of Frost. Another shot, and a save by Story. Back the other way for the Lock Monsters. This time it is Stevens. Tries to deke around, unable. Tries to go back for Chris Young. Back into Tim Caruso. Shot blocked by Brian Hooks. Corrigan on a 2-on-2. Slap shot, high. Keith Meister trying to look for some help. Trying to get it out of the zone. They're going to head back to the corner. Oh, looking at Andrew Shavor. 3-on-3 the other way. Sweep check. Misses from Chris Young. And bodies flying everywhere. And it is saved by Mugnon. Didn't quite see what happened. It involved Tim Caruso.
Hey, quick one, boys. Come on.
With less than 2 remaining, are we going to get a winner? Won by the Lock Monsters, but look out, a 2-on-1 the other way. It is Lons and Rainers. Lons on a shot, saved by Story. Another time that he's bailed him out. Centers, nobody available. Brian Hooks Going to move on the attack. 90 seconds remaining in the overtime period. Tries the center again. And Lons could not find it. Kept in by the Big Hawks. Everybody digging in. A lot of traffic in the slot. Keith Meister in the corner. Trying to get it out of there, but he has to deal with Brian Hooks. He has it. Center. Shot. Save.
Be there.
Shot from Lee Rainers. And here we go again with a physical play. He's getting tied up. He's unable to get up. He needs some help. Will be dug out by Tim Caruso. 3-on-2 the other way. Tries the center. Good poke check from Brian Hooks. As Shabor tried a shot, unable to get one through. 45 seconds remaining in overtime. Shot save by Story. Trying to decide what to do.
No, Kev, no.
And trying to poke it through. He does. Big Hawks had to go back. And an offside with 27 seconds remaining. And in the overtime period, the stop clock is at 1 minute, which we have already passed. And of course, if no one scores by the end of these 27 seconds, this game will end in a draw. Back it goes at the point. We'll try to feed up. Will be dumped out by Nato. Centers for Young. Tries to go for a stretch pass to Corrigan. He has a chance with a backhand, and that's wide. And going out is Story, and he'll hold on with 12 seconds remaining. One by the Big Hawks. Quick shot save by Story with 10 seconds left. Can they have time for one more? He's just holding on now with 3 seconds left. And this one ends in a draw. Well, lots of scoring, but they were too evenly matched. We come out with no winner in this game. A 6-6 draw. Both teams will get a point in the standings. And for the Big Hawks, this will be their first point in the standings. A tough matchup. Offensively, some great plays from both sides. I don't even think we could have picked a winner in this one. We'll be back with a wrap-up. Well, this was a very evenly matched game. Lots of offense on both sides, as well as some great defensive plays. But this is going to be a tough one to pick the 3 stars for. So we have a hat trick, we have a game-saving save, and just all around great plays. Like I said, I could not pick a winner in this one. So both teams trying to get out of the bottom, at least they get a point out of it. But we do wonder, that goal that was waved off for Corrigan, could that have been the difference maker for the Big Hawks? We'll see how that turns out in the future days coming. Well, we'll have another game next week, and as a reminder, we will be in Tampa in 2 weeks for a tournament, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But now, this is Daniel Wilson. We'll see you next time around. If you enjoyed this game, be sure to check out the other games here on our YouTube channel at Raleigh Street Hockey. Also, be sure to check out our sponsors at allblackhockeysticks.com. You can get an all-black stick for just under $100. Not a bad deal. Also, be sure to check out our other sponsor, Hagen Hockey, which has some great hockey equipment for you. In order to get free shipping, just use the promo code Raleigh Street Hockey.